Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay, and welcome to another English lesson here on the channel, where I have the opportunity to help you with your English comprehension, vocabulary, and your English fluency. Now, for those of you who are new, I primarily do that through stories. And today I have a read and repeat lesson for you. Pretty fun story that I put together. If you would like to read along with me, I will have the words here on the screen, but you can also read along and practice at a later time, as I will put the story down in the description of today's lesson. Also, be sure to check out my Parlay with Jay page, where I get a little bit more personal with you and I read some stories to you to strengthen your English listening skills, and I have some conversations with you about various topics. I also have a quiz at the end of today's lesson. I hope you're ready to dive into today's story. Let's get ready for a little bit of learning and laughter. Debbie had never gone camping before, but she was excited for her first adventure in the wilderness. Wilderness. Some people say in the woods, or you can say the wilderness, depending on how large the area is. Okay, if you're going camping in your backyard, we would say in the woods. But if you're going to the mountains, okay, we would probably say, we're going to be out in the wilderness. Okay, let's read and repeat. Debbie had never gone camping before, but she was excited for her first adventure in the wilderness. Great job. Now, when someone is excited, they're thrilled. They're looking forward to something. So you might say, oh, wow, it's been 4 days since Jay has released a lesson. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what he will speak about today. Let's continue and find out what happened with Debbie. On her first night, she accidentally left food outside her tent, and a big black bear started rummaging through her campsite. Okay, there's a great vocabulary word there, rummaging. Let's read and repeat, and I will explain what that means. On her first night, she accidentally left, accidentally, food outside her tent, and a big black bear started rummaging or rummage, but here in this sentence we'll say rummaging through her campsite. So the first vocabulary word is accidentally. So when someone does something by accident, it's not on purpose. So you might say, hey, I accidentally spilled my water on the table. Okay, I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Now, notice the bear was rummaging. Now, when an animal or a person rummages through something, they are going through it. They are searching for something. So you might say Jay had a messy desk, so he had to rummage through the paper to find his car keys. Okay? Rummaging, searching. I was rummaging through my closet trying to find a new outfit to wear. Okay, searching, going through a lot of materials or different things you may have to move to the side, rummaging. Scared out of her wits. That's a great phrase. I was scared out of my wits. The tornado scared me out of my wits. Have you ever been through a tornado or a hurricane? You might say, you know what? It was frightening. It really scared me out of my wits. So that's a phrase we use to describe being extremely frightened or fearful. Okay? Scared out of her wits, she decided to make a run for it. Make a run for it. So when you make a run for it, you dash. You move somewhere in haste. Okay. The bee tried to sting me, so I made a run for it towards the house. I made a run for it. My neighbor's dog was barking, and then it started running towards me. So I made a run for it and jumped on top of the car. Okay. To dash, to move quickly, to get away from, to make a run for it. Thinking the bear might be on her tail. That's another phrase or idiom. Something is on your tail. She thought the bear was on her tail. Now, of course, Debbie doesn't have a tail, but it's on my tail describes that something might be very close. Okay. Of course, we use the word tail to describe someone's backside. Okay. Get off my tail. Get. Now, Debbie was afraid of the bear. She made a dash for it or a run for it. And she didn't turn around because she feared the bear might be too close or on her tail. Okay, let's read and repeat. Scared out of her wits, she decided to make a run for it. Thinking the bear might be on her tail. She reached a nearby cabin. Okay. She reached a nearby cabin. So she was running, and close by was another building or a cabin. A cabin is where people that go camping sometimes sleep and lodge. Okay, that's what we call it. We lodge in a cabin. She reached a nearby cabin only to find a rattlesnake curled up in the corner, giving her a menacing stare. Poor Debbie. She has one problem after another. Okay. So we would describe someone who has problematic events. We would say nothing seems to go right. Okay. So she first went camping. A bear went through her food and chased her. Then she gets to shelter only to find a rattlesnake there. And I wouldn't be staying in that cabin. Let's read and repeat. She reached a nearby cabin only to find a rattlesnake curled up in the corner, giving her a menacing stare. So think about a snake giving a menacing stare. What does this mean? Looking at you intently, looking at you like you better not come over here because I will strike and bite you. Okay. Now, a snake can give a menacing stare, but we can give a menacing stare. People can. You can just look at someone like a menacing stare. Okay. You can be on the train. When I went to New York a few weeks ago, I don't know why in my mind I thought the subways would just be so crowded and you would have people everywhere and they would just be mean and looking at you, ready to mug you. I was ready to see people on the subway looking at me with menacing stares, just. So how do we describe it? Being stone-faced, serious. Not smiling, not laughing, a menacing, a scary look. Panicked, she dashed back to her car, hoping for safety. So Debbie panicked. She dashed back to her car, or remember earlier I said she made a run for it, hoping for safety. Let's read and repeat. Panicked. She dashed back to her car, hoping for safety. So when someone is panicked or they are panicking, they're nervous, they're frantic. How do we describe it? We use a phrase by saying they're up in arms. They're, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, a snake, a bear. They're panicking. What am I going to do? They're nervous, they're fearful. All of these words describe a person that is panicked, okay? Let's continue. To her horror, she realized she had left her window down and a raccoon was now rummaging through the back seat, tossing empty McDonald's wrappers, scaring her even the more. Oh my goodness, she is really going through it. Let's read that again. I think I misspelled a sentence. I overlapped it. Let's read that again. To her horror, she realized she had left her window down and a raccoon was now rummaging through the back seat, tossing empty McDonald's wrappers in search of, what did I put right there? In search of leftover fries. Come on now. To her horror, she realized she left her window down and a raccoon was now rummaging through the back seat, tossing empty McDonald's wrappers in search of leftover fries. Okay, let's read and repeat. To her horror, or she was afraid, she realized she had left her window down and a raccoon was rummaging through the back seat, tossing empty McDonald's wrappers in search of leftover fries. Oh, wow. So notice here, to her horror, again, to her surprise, she was already panicking. She was already nervous. And when she got to her car, she was like, oh my goodness, a raccoon's in my car and it's all my fault. Okay, so to her horror or to her surprise, exhausted and a little amused, Debbie burst out laughing. Okay, exhausted or tired and a little amused. She thought it was funny. Debbie burst out laughing. She packed up her things and swore she would never go camping again. Let's finish this sentence. She packed up her things and swore she would never go camping again. Now, notice Debbie swore, so she made a promise. She said, I'll never do that again. I mean, would you do that again? Would you go camping again if a bear chased you, a rattlesnake was in your cabin, and a raccoon got in your car? That's enough camping for me for a lifetime. Okay, let's read through this story once again without stopping, without any explanation, and then we'll have a few quiz questions to test your comprehension. Let's dive back in. Debbie had never gone camping before, but she was excited for her first adventure in the wilderness. On her first night, she accidentally left food outside her tent, and a black bear started rummaging through her campsite. Scared out of her wits, she decided to make a run for it, thinking the bear might be on her tail. She reached a nearby cabin only to find a rattlesnake curled up in the corner, giving her a menacing stare. Panicked, she dashed back to her car, hoping for safety. To her horror, she realized she had left her window down and a raccoon was now rummaging through the back seat, tossing empty McDonald's wrappers in search of leftover fries. Exhausted and a little amused, Debbie burst out laughing. She packed up her things and swore she would never go camping again. Wow, what a fun story. Okay, here's a few quiz questions. What is rummaging, or what does it mean to rummage? Number 2, I want you to answer this down in the comments section. What does scared out of her wits mean? Okay. And finally, what does swore or swear mean? She said she swore to never go camping. Okay. So let me know your answers to those down in the comments section. Well, I hope you have enjoyed our time together today learning about Debbie and her camping trip. Oh, wow. Let me know your thoughts on today's story. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You know, I've had a busy week, and last week was the first time in a long time where I only put one lesson on the channel. But life happens, things happen. But I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I'm going to talk about my week on my Parlay with Jay channel and just have a conversation with you guys. I hope you join me there. And as always, enjoy your day. And I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I'll see you then.